Juan de la Cruz got the dreaded email from ICE. He was told he needed to report to an Immigration Customs Enforcement Center in St. Albans, Vermont, probably an hour-and-a-half drive from the small town of Panton, Vermont, where he had been living for 20 years. When he showed up at the ICE office, he did not know. He had been told by lawyers that it was highly likely that he would be detained by ICE and deported. And when he showed up at the ICE facility, he was surrounded by 200 members of his Addison County community. Members of his son's high school football team, former and current co-workers at his landscaping job where he worked as a stonemason, mothers of his daughter's best friends. These were not radical leftists. These were not, I would gather, I don't know them, but I would gather that they're not even necessarily political activists of any kind. They were simply people who cared about a member of their community. They cared about him if he was going to be deported. They cared and were excited when his son came out of the ICE office with his hands in the air saying that his father was going to be allowed to stay while his asylum case ran its course. 200 people showed up to support a member of their community. Caring is a radical act. We hear a lot these days about how we need to resist the powers of autocracy and how we need to fight to save our democracy. And that may well be true. It's important to speak up in all kinds of ways. But when caring is unleashed, caring is not a movement of the mind. It's not a political ideology. It's just something that happens when we care about someone in our community. It may happen to you when you're in the checkout line and you see the trans person that you might have tried to otherize or think was weird for your whole life, and suddenly you find a movement of caring in your heart. It may happen when you see a young black man wandering around the community in Montpelier, Vermont, talking to himself and turning in circles when there are no circles to be turned. You may find yourself caring where he came from, who he came from, who might be missing him, what services there might actually be in our community to help someone who's as far lost as this guy clearly is. Caring is a movement of the heart. It's not a movement from the left or the right. We might care about coal miners in West Virginia who lost their jobs and whose communities are rotting from the inside out. We might find ourselves caring why the MAGA people are so angry. Is it just that they're defective? Is it just that they're deplorable? Or did something happen to these people to cause this? You never know where caring is going to take you. You never know who it might embrace. I remember many years ago when in Vermont, when the case for gay marriage was being made in the state legislature. First it was civil unions and then gay marriage. And when the argument was a theoretical thing about protecting the rights of people who chose to live with and love and have sex with people of the same sex, people could keep it at a distance. People could say, no, they didn't approve of that. They didn't believe in that. But when it started to change was when more and more gay people, at this time, being gay was not something that people spoke about all the time and were open about. It wasn't even safe to be. But when more and more people started coming out of the closet and state legislators and community members learned that the farmer who lived next door had a gay son, or their sister was actually gay, or their real estate agent, or the best friend that they lost track of since high school, that these people were gay. These people were people they cared about, people they had loved, people they did love, and people they didn't want to hurt or discriminate against. When a social, cultural situation turns from political ideology to simply caring about our fellow human beings, what's happening to them, whether they're going to be ripped away from their families, whether they're going to be laughed at and abused because they're different in one of countless ways. When we start caring about those things from our heart, from a deeper place within us, God only knows where it goes. And the political attempts to divide us and shame people and keep people polarized and against one another, they start working less and less. They become more transparent as the hateful attempts that they are, not to protect people, but to keep people separated, to harm people, to deny people their rights, to deny people their humanity. When caring starts happening, there's no end to where it can go. We don't know where it will go. We don't know what the effects will be. We don't know what gets unleashed when caring gets unleashed. We can't predict it. We can't stop it. We can't control it. We don't know where it leads. We do know where the lack of caring leads. We do know where the carefully cultivated seeds, bitter seeds of hatred, are planted and nurtured and watered. We know what that leads to. It's all around us. God bless those people from Panton, Vermont, a small town near Lake Champlain. It's a town next to the town I lived for many years. It's a farming community. It's a rural community. It's a mostly conservative part of the state. And those people showed up, not as a political statement, although it was a political statement, but because they cared about a fellow member of their community. Let it rip, folks. Put no limits on that caring. It's not even a decision. It's just something that happens. It can happen to all of us. And who knows where this can lead. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. And I want to give a shout out to Vermont's NPR affiliate, Vermont Public, for this excellent story by Peter Hirschfeld. I wouldn't have known about this but for you. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. Thank you for the courage to care, the willingness to open our hearts in a time where there's so much fear and so many people telling us we need to keep them closed to protect ourselves. Thank you for listening.